Hey, Craig here. So a lot's happened since the last video, so I thought I'd just show you around. So I guess the most notable change is the enclosure. I built it out of 3/4 inch sanded plywood. It took 3 sheets of plywood. It was like $36 a sheet. 1 sheet for the front, 1 sheet for the back, and 1 sheet for the 2 side panels. The rear sheet is just a solid piece. I cut a hole in the back there for the stepper motor. The 2 side pieces I cut fairly good sized windows into. The front part here I haven't finished yet. I'm going to be putting sliding doors in there. I actually ordered parts from 80/20. I'm actually going to put a piece of wood on the inside here, then probably glue the track down to it. I also ordered 2 plexiglass doors and 2 handles, so hopefully I'll have that installed next week. I also installed the monitor on one of these articulating arms here from Home Depot. And at Home Depot I also got 2 brackets, and I used some of the scrap plywood from the enclosure itself to make that. I made it big enough for the keyboard and for the mouse here. I'm not really sure what to do with the jog shuttle. I just have it hanging down there. I also have to think of a better way to hang the gun here. I actually made the enclosure bigger than the actual table, so I would have enough room for the vise and for the vise handle. So I actually had to put a piece of plywood in there, strip of plywood in there. For the 2 side windows, I actually used thick plastic from a local fabric store. It was like 20 bucks for both sides. I basically just have like hanging from, I basically ripped down a couple pieces of the plywood and just screwed it up there, and I just have the plastic pinched in there. Mounted the fog buster and the automatic oiler for the power drawbar. I actually reinstalled the power drawbar because I was having problems with it before. I got that installed. I actually relocated the button for it out here. The actual plywood, the paint, I used primer. I had some primer left over from the floor, so I primered it with that, and then I painted it with an enamel. It's an enamel paint, a white enamel paint. I'm gonna have to do a touch-up coat in some areas here. So since this sticks out further, I couldn't put the drawer off to the side like in an L shape like I had before, so I had to turn it this way. I'm still trying to figure out the best way to deal with hand tools. Before these were like at hand, but now they're over here. So I'm trying to figure out the best way to hang these. I don't know if I should just like get some aluminum or wood and just drill holes in it and put those there. The other idea that I had was maybe instead of having this here, basically have 2 pieces of aluminum, kind of like this over here. Thought about doing 2 of these, obviously bigger, deeper, but maybe having 2 like this. I was going to buy channel or a bracket, L bracket, but my metal supplier actually just bent this up for me. Said it would be cheaper. It was like $8 for this piece. But I think I'm gonna go with, thinking about going with 2 of these. The top one will be for the keyboard and the mouse, and the bottom one down here will be for all the miscellaneous tools. It'd be nice to have like a dedicated place for all these tools, but you know, things are always changing. You know, you like make something in stone, then you know, a week later it changes, and so I'm trying to make it as universal as possible as things change. So just a table to put, a little shelf like this to put all those hand tools on, I think is probably going to be better. Since this is sticking out further, I actually had to put a tiny little shelf down here to put my little vacuum cleaner. This vacuum cleaner is for a vacuum box. So I had to do that to stick it out far enough so that the hose wouldn't catch on here and pull out of the box. And since I had a lot of the scrap wood left over, I started changing out some tops, bench tops. I had OSB over here, which is really terrible for a bench top because you know, you get splinters and stuff in your fingers from them. So I changed that one out, and also changed this out too. This was the worst because I'm always sliding sheet metal and stuff on here, and I would constantly get splinters from the OSB on there. So I recently just got the tooling plate plugs from Saunders Machine Works NYC CNC. You may have seen his video on these. There we go. He actually made the injection, the die for it, or the mold, I should say. He made the mold for it. He doesn't do the actual injecting. He has another company do that for him. You know, originally when I got this, you know, I had all these chips going in here, and it was hard to blow out with the air gun, and I didn't really have any solution for it at the time. I looked at the Tosa Tools plugs, but it was going to be like $300 for this whole plate, and I wasn't sure if they were going to work well with John's tooling plate. Then John came out with these like mats, which looked pretty cool. It's like a silicone mat, but you'd have to like cut them to fit, and you know, if you had different setups with different fixture plates, you'd have to have like different mat sections. So I wasn't quite sure about that, but when he came out with these, I thought, well, these are probably going to work out pretty good. So I went ahead and ordered these up. They're really easy to put in. You just push them down in. What I do is I just push them in so that the top is just at the bottom of the chamfer. If you leave them too high, then the stone is going to hit them. So, but if you push them in too far, they're easy to take out. They have this kind of little hole in it right there. So if you need to pull one out to put a bolt in, or it's too far down, it's very easy. You just put one of these small screwdrivers in there. I use the small Phillips. You just poke a hole in it, pull it out. I'm assuming they seal back up there, so and just put that back in there. So yeah, so basically I just put that one in there. Basically I just put the dowel pins and the bolts that I use on a daily basis, I put those in there and just filled the whole thing in. I actually bought 200 to start because I thought maybe, you know, I wouldn't need them in the center, but then I realized it's just easier. So I ordered the other 200. So it's like $20, 100. So it's like $80 for all of these, plus shipping. The shipping is like, you know, USPS. So that was really cheap, you know, $3 or $4 or something like that. So now it's really easy to clean off. I get some chips on there. I can just I can just go ahead and blow them off. So I haven't been using it too long, so I'm not sure exactly how well it's going to work with the fog buster, with the coolant for the fog buster. I ran it a couple times and it seems to be fine. So I think it said something on the website about not being good with WD-40, but I just use like Simple Green or something like that to clean it off, so shouldn't be that big of a deal. But alright, well, if you like this video, I'd appreciate the thumbs up. If you have any comments or suggestions, feel free to leave them down below. Also, if you have any ideas of future videos or things you'd like me to make in the future videos, feel free to leave those down below. If you'd like to subscribe, there should be a button over here. Other videos down below as usual. And as always, thanks for watching.